Welcome back to Roscoe's World Radio. Today we're going to be talking about the most important piece to a good trail ride. Forget the guns and the horses. The most vital piece of equipment on the trail was the Chuck Wagon. The cook who drove it was considered the most essential man on the crew and the foundation of cowboy morale. The Chuck Wagon was invented in 1866 by legendary Texas rancher Charles Goodnight. He took a sturdy armed surplus wagon and modified it to be the ultimate mobile cook kitchen and storage unit. The cook, often an older former cowboy, was known by titles like Cookie. They not only prepared 3 meals a day, but also acted as barber, doctor, dentist, mailman, and banker for the crew. They were paid $50 to $60 a month, almost double the cowboys' wages. The wagon's most important feature was the chuck box, a hinge-covered cabinet mounted on the back. When opened, the lid folded down to serve as the cook's table and counter. It stored flour, spices, sourdough starters, and essential cooking tools. The Dutch oven was the most versatile piece of equipment. Cast iron pots with heavy lids. They were used to bake biscuits, stew beans, roast meat, and even fry food. The standard cowboy diet was built on simplicity: beans, salt pork, bacon, sourdough biscuits, and immense amounts of coffee. Fresh beef was a rarity as they were driving their employer's property. Flour and water for biscuits were mixed for sourdough starters, a living yeast culture carefully tended by the cook. It was essential for making the light, fluffy biscuits known as biscuits and soppy, which was gravy. The most famous and unique meal was son of a bitch stew, or the most polite son of a gun stew. This was a celebratory meal made only when a young, unweaned calf had to be butchered for some reason. The stew was the ultimate use of resources. It was made from every part of the calf except the hide, horns, and hooves. Ingredients include the heart, liver, brains, sweetbread, and tongue, simmered with chili pepper and flour for thickness. Food was often bland, but the cook used basic seasonings like salt, pepper, and sometimes dried chili peppers to liven up the repetitive flair. Canned tomatoes were prized as the acidity was believed to counteract the of trail water. The cook's domain was sacred. There was a strict rule: never complain about Cookie's food and never touch the chuck box. Breaking either rule could get you fired or worse. The cook determined to camp location and was always the first to arrive, making sure hot food was ready when the exhausted crew arrived. The Chuck Wagon was the true center of Cowboys' world, providing sustenance and the moment of civilization. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. This has been Joshua Marchant with Roscoe's World Radio. I'll see you in the next one.